This is a little different in the video. I figured I would show you guys the process of what I did when it came to this dress that I made for a recent publication that I just got from High Magazine. I had done this originally for Pride Month earlier this year, but once the submission went through, it took almost 3 months for it to finally get through. As of this moment, the publication is out now. However, I figured in celebration for this big moment, I figured I would show y'all the behind the scenes process of what I went through to make this dress. Shout outs to Brianna, who is wearing the dress for this for the publication. I had done this because I wanted to do something in honor for Pride Month, because I have a lot of friends who are in the LGBTQ community, and many of you probably didn't know, but I've been slowly integrating it with cosplay making to doing a little bit of fashion design as well. So I wanted to dip into that with my photography. So this was one of the many projects, simple projects that I wanted to do for this. So feel free to watch the video, check out everything on that, and let me know what you think. And if you want to see more of the photos, I will be posting them up soon, along with the issue, which is out now, if you want to check out some of the stuff. So go ahead, enjoy this, if you will. This is the mock-up I have right now of what it is. The only reason why is that this space is right here is because this depends on whether or not I will make it a two-piece or if I'll make it a full dress, depending on the space of the fabric. If the space of the fabric is not enough that will make a full dress of it, then I'll make it a two-piece. But if it is a full enough to make it a full dress, then I will make it a full dress. So the space will not be necessary. I just want to make sure I have enough of the fabric space that I can pull it off, if anything. I'm hesitant on using one zipper, if anything, but the most important part is mostly the top part of the dress, if I can pull it off. Because if you can see here, the black is the band, and it's not that thick of the band, but it does represent the band of what I'm going to do for the top of it. But again, I want to make sure the length first by fabricing. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to stitch the colors together and then go off of that, and I have a pre-made dress that I'm going to use as a template to help with that, because it will probably be the same size. So I'm hoping that it will go exactly as it is on that, and depending on that, I'll use that whole flag. So in a way, so in sense of it, technically, like for example, in the case of it, and it's funny enough I'm behind here, I'm good. If once I stitch the colors together, it'll be almost like I'm making a flag. But once I'm done making it like a flag with all the colors stitched together, I'm going to use that and outline the body size of it, and then use that to make the full size and the rest of the dress. So it'll look like it's more of a dress made out of a flag, and then use that as the body template. And then depending on how long the dress will be, I'll use the ends of it and seam and hem the ends of it. So I hope this works. I have so far, I'm using my bed to spread it out. This is so far 3 of the colors. They're not in the exact order that I'm putting it in. That's another thing I also wanted to mention, is that they're not going to be in the exact order of the colors. So I'm not putting them in a specific order. It's just going to be all the stitch colors. So far I have them all stitched, and while it's not a straight stitch, it's a better stitch, at least with some access allowance on it, so that way it'll stay in the case of it. But it's going to go in the inside right here, and then this is what's going to look like on the outside. So that way, like I said, like a flag. So as of right now, I have 3 colors already stitched, and I'm going to finish doing the rest of them right now. Okay, so I actually stitched the red, the blue, the pink, and the purple. The orange is not stitched on yet, but that's the orange, and I'm planning on stitching that with it. So like I said, I'm using my stairs because I don't have a lot of space, but this is so far from what it looks like. The only color that's missing is yellow and green, and I don't have green right now. The only green I have, unfortunately, is this green, which I was able to find in this sports shirt, which I'm gonna have to see if maybe that's the case of it. But then I also have another green, which is this is the only green they had in stock at the fabric store that I went to, which is more of a yellow neon green, and I don't think this is a green that's good enough for it. However, I was able to find a yellow, and I found it from this sports shirt. So what I'm gonna probably do is I'm going to stitch, remove the stitches off of this because it's the same material from this shirt. Stitch it and take off the fabric for that and stitch it and put it on to the yellow and stitch this with it. So then the only one fabric that I'll need left is green. And either I'll have to find a location of a fabric store of a Joann's that I can find it, or I will have to specialty order it. So first, I'll have to stitch the orange. So the trick was the pin and the seam allows at least some space of it, and hopefully I can get this to sew right on here. So I had to pin it to keep it on here, but at the same time, my only thing I'm worried about is making sure that the pins are in the same level. So at the same level as the rest of the fabric, but I did it inside so that way the seam won't be seen. So even though I'm using black thread, because I don't have a lot of colored thread to match for it, it's going to be the seams and the thread won't be seen like it's shown on here, so it'll be the inside out. So now that I have them stitched together, I had to use a dress that I already had to stitch, to size out it. So now what I'm doing is I'm trimming the edges and using a pins to make sure that the sizes are even. So I'm cutting the pieces. The front, this is the front piece, the whole front piece. As you can see, I pinned and trimmed it. And don't worry about the black tracing. That's where the lines of the dress is, and I just left space for seam allowance. Those are actually going to be hidden once I stitched it together inside out. But this is the front piece. All this is the front piece, and then this is the back pieces that I'm actually cutting out. So the first one and the top one is going to be on both sides of it. So I'm going to cut this all out and trim off the excess of the fabric so that it will be a full pieces for both back pieces. Because what's going to happen is with the back pieces, I'm going to stitch them together. And what's going to happen is with both of the pieces, they're going to be, there's going to be back sides of it. It's going to be stitched together up to at least the pink, purple, and maybe a yellow part that I'm going to put on the top, because that's going to be where the zipper is. And then the seam is going to come down the bottom for the dress of it. Okay, so as of right now, I have the green up to the purple pinned. And if you can look closely, you can see some of the pieces, they're stitched, they're not on the ends of it, because that part is going to be stitched from the bottom down up. And then for right here, where the pink up to the purple is where the hem of the dress is going to be at, and that's what's going to be the zipper. But I'm not going to hem up that part yet. And then this is the yellow fabric that I found that's similar to the material to the other fabrics, because I couldn't find a yellow one. So I found this one off of a sports jersey that I was able to trim off the end of it and cut into the piece as well. And this is, I'm going to alter it to fit onto the dress sizing. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to sew the ends where the pins are, and then sew this bottom part to it, and using the bottom sew up to it to the dress. So that way it will be formed all the way up to a body of the dress. And then I didn't realize this, but it turns out the dress is a lot longer because of the lengths of the fabric. It turns out the dress is a lot wider. So it's actually going to go down from the chest all the way down to the calves, ankles. So it might even go down to the ankles to where the dress is. Alrighty, so I have my friend Sam here, Salamander as she's called, and she's actually decided to model it off. So as you can see, if you don't mind, I have the shirt, the dress pinned on the back. I needed somebody to do it because the body form I have just doesn't work. It's too old. So I needed a body of somebody's proportions that'll work well. And I think Sam's gorgeous enough to pull it off. So as you can see, this is what the dress is technically looking like inside out. And you can see from the top all the way to the bottom how loose it is. This is what we're going for because it was supposed to be shorter. So if you don't mind, turn it so I can show the back off for you, Sam. So as you can see here, I have it pinned and on here. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna sew that pin bridge here, because what I was gonna do is I was going to zipper it, use a zipper of it. But I decided, you know what? It's a form dress, it'll fit right through, and it's gonna just all there. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna sew that off And the top part where her bra straps are is going to be where the black straps is going to be on the top. So that way it'll be easy for a woman to wear, whoever wears it. And it's also not just going to fit on her, since the material is stretchy and athletic. It'll be able to fit any body size between her or anybody smaller or a little bit bigger in a sense of it. So that will be fitting. It'll be almost a one size fit all. Like I said, think Kim Kardashian's Skims, if anything. So, but go ahead and turn back around, Sam. But yes, but this girl, I appreciate her so much because she's such a talented girl and she's so scandalous. She's gorgeous too. So I'm gonna link you to her Instagram, and then she also happens to have a beautiful voice too. So I might have to put you on to her YouTube channel, check out her music covers. So I definitely have to do that. And there it is. There's the dress. It's fully done. Had to get the stitching to make sure the hemming is right with the stitching. But these are the main colors that I'm focusing on. Now I could have done more colors to represent for it, but I wanted to make it focus on the main core of it as the pride flag. I wanted to make sure that this dress was simplistic enough that it could be a good representation. And I don't want to desecrate the flag for that community. I don't. This is my way of wanting to give to the community. Now I have one person in mind. Originally, my friend Angie, you might have remember, she had did a lovely shoot with me where she wore a pink leather dress. I had originally her, but I felt like it was only right to have someone in the community wear this dress, and I know exactly that person, and that is my friend Bree. She took some photos with the dress, and you will definitely see them very, very soon. And I can't wait for y'all to see the finished shoot look of her wearing the dress. Not to mention, she is part of the LGBTQ community, so I definitely think this is the best person to wear the dress. So in a little bit, you're gonna see the dress in action technically, but I hope that this is a way that my contribution to celebrate for y'all Pride, especially since it's Pride Month. Because like I said, we have plenty of it as it is. Now, there's going to be a couple new posts I'm going to do. So, because I feel like what we did before wasn't working because we didn't do a lot more. And again, those were test shots technically. I like how you had your hands in your hips before. So, yep, just like that. It's okay. But you're not wearing any this time, so you should be fine. But I know that they want. I told you that story, didn't I? Yeah. Like I fell into a lake shooting with a model who was on a broken tree that was pouring out the water. Destroyed your balance. I feel so bad.